normal people, they wouldn't understand the impact a sports person can have through injury.
Injuries are part and parcel of every athlete's life. It is so hard to trust your body because emotionally, you're also questioning yourself, the comeback. So it's so difficult to be able to just come back and put that work in again, trust the body part again, and then say, will I be as good as when I stopped?
Going back to the glorious career, the Olympics, is there anything that makes you feel that probably I should have done better? Or
yeah, I mean, I think that if I have something in my career that I feel that I am missing is probably that Olympic medal, and that's something that we came so close to it in Rio in 16, and I mean, I don't usually cry after I lose matches, but that is something that sometimes I think about it even today and it hurts me. Winning an Olympic medal for your country and for yourself and your family is the biggest dream that any athlete can have. And we came very, very close to it. We came painfully close to it. I mean, to come fourth in the Olympics is the worst.
yeah.
You rather come 30th.
Yeah,
don't come fourth. Because you can't, the three get the medal, and then the fourth person, they're like, oh, well, you can have nothing. So it was very painful. It was one of the worst days of mine and Rohan's life for so many reasons. But yeah, it was, we had to finish the match. And tennis is not like other sports where you prepare for an event for months.
Yeah.
We played for the bronze on Saturday, I think, or the Sunday.
Yeah.
We flew the same night to go and play in Cincinnati in 2 days after that.
Oh, wow.
So we finished the match and we both were looking at each other. We were not saying one word to each other. We're on the bus now going after we've cried and all this drama has happened, and we have already, we hate our lives in this moment. And we've sat on the bus and we've looked at each other like this. And he's like, what a day. And he used a word which I can't use on television. And I was like, I agree with you. What a day. What a dash day.
Beep,
yeah, beep, beep day. We sat on a flight. It was the longest flight of our lives. And we went to Cincinnati. And as tennis players and as athletes, we have to move on, right?
Yeah, I mean, next day. There's always a next day.
Literally next day, we went all the way from Rio. We went to Cincinnati. We went practiced. 2 days later, we played a match.
Yeah, and you are a national icon. The favorite question of mine, the media scrutiny, the trolls.
Yeah.
How do you handle them?
No, I think media is not trolling. Media is being media.
Scrutinizing.
Media is media.
Troll.
I've had a love-hate relationship with media. It's now lately it's been more love than hate. Before it used to be more hate than love. No, I in the process of that, I have made some really good friends in the media as well. What happened was, I think that initially, when I came, everybody was taken by surprise. That was a star. Yeah. There was no other woman athlete that was there. And it was a fun ride for both of us. I think they were learning. I was bouncing off them. They were bouncing off me. It got boring at some point to talk only about forehands and backhands. So they started talking about what I wore, who I had dinner with, who I didn't have dinner with, why did I have dinner, why I didn't wear this. So, I mean, it got,
Yeah.
I guess they needed to sell their newspapers and I needed to protect my sanity.
Yeah.
But over time, we've begun to like each other more and we have a great relationship now.
I mean, once you've retired, it's a great relationship.
No, I've had now for the last 7-8 years, I've had a really good relationship with most of them. Also, the trolls are people that, obviously, it's, all this stuff is the baggage that comes with being famous.
Yeah.
And I am a big believer that if you are accepting the good, you have to accept the bad in life with everything. The same with this.
Yeah.
So when you are accepting that you have X number of followers and fans and you have a say and people listen to you and you get paid to be spoken,
Yeah, I know.
Then you also have to accept that people will have an opinion about you.
True.
Now, what I do with that opinion is up to me, So I am very good. I'm too thick-skinned, so I ignore it most often.
Yeah.
But then there'll be one-off day when I'll wake up at the wrong side of the bed and I'm like, I will show you today what I'm made
Not
of.
today,
So that
guys.
is not the day you want to be saying or trolling me, because that day comes once a year. But when it comes fierce and hard.
Guys, wait for that one day. Be careful, okay? So, I mean, you did mention about, people, they talk about what you wear and things like that. Coming from the Indian conservative mindset 20 years ago, walking on a tennis court, were you conscious?
No, I was not. I was not conscious at all. I think that, like I said, it was a lot of it was also media created, because like I said, it got boring to talk about one same girl every day coming playing forehands, backhands. So how much they're going to talk about it? So it got boring, and they wanted to make it spicy. And a lot of my issues that happened with me in my early years were a lot media created, unfortunately. And that is just the way it was, and I was never nervous, and that is because I had my parents. I knew no matter what, they had my back. And I think that is where my parents came, where they had a solid grounding for me, where I believed, regardless of anything that happens in my life, this core that I have will never go, in the form of my friends and family and stuff. So I was never scared to do anything, because I always knew they had my back.
When talking about Indian tennis, I'm not making this up, okay? This is the truth.
Is this your research that you've been doing for 24 hours?
There is only one Sania Mirza. No one before, no one after. How do we produce more Sania Mirzas?
Same thing that I said at the beginning of this interview, that we need to nurture kids from a young age. We have to invest in sport. We cannot become a sporting nation 4 months before Olympics and then be a sporting nation 4 months after, and then that's it. For 4 years, we are quiet.
Yeah.
We are not a sporting nation. We are a cricketing nation.
Yeah.
And people don't like it when I say that, but that's the truth. And sometimes you have to hear the truth to make a change.
True.
We are not somebody who, as soon as, especially a girl is born, we don't say, oh yeah, let's make her an athlete. That is not what is said at all.
Yeah.
If you go to Australia, that is a sporting nation, where you are going and watching, any sport, and it's packed. Packed houses are watching. So, A, we have to change the culture when it comes to that. B, we have to get a system in place.
Yeah.
C, we need to nurture kids from an age of 8, 9, 10. Not wait for them to become something and then invest money in them or invest time in them. And D, I think it's very important that we have the right kind of coaches and trainers, whether that's brought in from outside to train the people that we have here, or just bring in people from outside to nurture these kids, and that you're identifying that will be your tomorrow, because unless you do that, because today if you ask me any girl, like outside of Karman Kaur Thandi, who is also 24 years old, which is not young in tennis anymore.
Yeah.
Outside of her, and if she does not do it in the next couple of years, it's going to be difficult. I cannot name you one person where I'm like, oh my God, this girl is so exceptionally good that she is going to carry that baton. And that's sad.
Yeah. It's absolutely sad. Hopefully things fall in place, and hopefully now you're there running a lot of academies. Hopefully we find a lot more Sania Mirzas. You made your return on court Tokyo 2020 after being a mother. How did you do it? Like, how did you make it possible? Please tell me.
After becoming a mother, actually, my first tournament that I played was in Hobart. And I won the first tournament that I came back at. And for me, when I chose to become pregnant, it was a conscious decision. People thought I was mad because I was 7 in the world or 9 in the world there are very few people that at the peak of their career say, oh well, you know what, I'm just gonna get pregnant. So I thought that was the right time for me to do it. So I did it, and that's how I live my life, where I know that I do things according to when I want, not when somebody else thinks it's right for me, whether that's society or whatever it may be. I got pregnant. I never announced my retirement because I knew I had some tennis left in me.
Yeah.
And I put on 23 kilos. And that was the first time I was overweight, you know, to that extent, obviously.
Yeah.
And I was like, how am I ever going to play tennis again? Forget, lose this weight is one thing. I was breathing and putting on weight. Like, it was horrendous, right? So I was like, okay, fine. So, and then people were like, are you sure you're going to play tennis again? And I was like, yeah, I'm sitting there 20 kilos overweight. Of course I'm going to come back. What do you think? And like my friends, later on when I lost weight and everything, they were like, we never thought you're going to be able to do it, right? So because I lost 26 kilos in 4 months, which is not recommended, but that's what I did because I'm a mad person. So yeah, so I'm a mad person. So I was, you've seen me in the gym, right? So that is how I was every day.
You are.
So I lost that weight and I said, okay, I'm going to make a comeback in 2020. I had Izhan in 2018 end. And I won Hobart as soon as I came back. And for me, it was not just about proving it to myself that I have tennis left in me at the highest level. It was also, like I said, setting an example that as young mothers, your life it's not over because you have a child. It's the beginning of a life. And just because you put yourself forward does not make you a bad mother. It doesn't make you a bad person or a bad woman.
Yeah.
It makes you human. And if a man is able to do that without thinking twice about it, then why can't a woman do it?
Absolutely right.
So that was a couple of motivations that I had. And I said कि अब तो तुमने मुझे बोला मैं नहीं कर सकती तो अब तो मुझे करना पड़ेगा. I have to do it. Like there is no way I won't be able to do it. That was the little inner rebel in me also that was there. Yeah, the rebellious me.
I was just coming at that. I mean, the most cliche question in any interview a person can ask. Your advice for young sports person in the world of social media.
Oh, see, first the advice is that believe in yourself. Because especially as young girls, I'll tell you, and you'll probably know this as well, we are told more often that we can't do something rather than we can. We are constantly told. You say, I want to do this. No, you can't do it. Why would you want to do it? I want to go out. No, you can't go out. I want to go and play this. No, you can't do it. It's too hot. Like, it's constantly told you can't do something. By society, by uncles, aunties, mamas, all these buas. So, believe in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, then nobody else is going to believe in yourself. And trust your gut. Trust your gut that what you love is what your calling is and what you're meant for. And in a world of social media is and social media cannot make or break your day. Because social media is not what you see. It is not what it is. People will never show you or put a picture, almost never will put a picture of them having a bad day. Everybody is having a great life. Everybody is having a great day. Everybody has a great marriage. Everything is great on social media. But that's not reality. The reality of social media is very ugly. So that is why you cannot take social media seriously. If I sit here and post something standing here, you don't know what emotion I've gone through 1 hour before that. Could have been completely opposite of what I'm trying to show you. So social media is a necessity in life, because today we have reached a stage in our lives where we need social media, whether it's for monetary reasons, whether it's to have a fan base, whether it's to connect with your fans. So it's got some good that comes with it, but there's an ugly side to it as well. That's why social media has to be taken with a pinch of salt. And it cannot make or break your day. Most of the time I'm laughing at it. So as young kids, do not base your life seeing that I'm in Maldives. Because that is not what life is. That is 2 days of my life. You have to base your life on yourself and on reality and on real things.
So you won your first WTA title in Hyderabad. How much of an impact that venue has made? The city, the venue, everything.
No, it meant so much, right? Because that's where I grew up. And to do it in front of my home, not just crowd, but my entire family, my friends, it was so special. And it was my first ever title, big title that I won. And it happened to be in Hyderabad. And I remember the year before I won the doubles there, and then I went in 2005, won the singles. So it was as surreal as it can get. Because it was the first time ever that a tennis match ever was sold out.
Wow.
It was,
Wow.
the entire stadium was packed. It was there were thousands of people outside. They had to, I remember that LB stadium is right where the cricket stadium is. You might have played there.
Yeah.
So they put up screens in that cricket stadium for people to sit and watch
Wow.
for the final of
Wow.
that match. So we have a person called R.K. Khanna. We had a person called R.K. Khanna, and then his son at that time was the president of the All India Tennis Federation. And Mr. R.K. Khanna, who is supposed to be the father of tennis, was alive at that point. And he came to my dad and he said to my dad that today is the happiest day of my life. So my dad said, why on the day of the final? He said, because I'm R.K. Khanna and I didn't get entry into the stadium. It was packed. Wow. It was full.
Wow.
So that was so impactful. You know, that entire 2005, and I had just come off Australian Open in January, went into February to play this tournament. So everything was happening back to back. So that's why on March 5th, I retired officially, and I played my last ever match there with, you know, a few of my colleagues, and in that very stadium. So it was surreal for me, where I literally was like, this entire circle of life had happened for me over there. Twice. Twice. It happened, and it happened in the same timelines, January and March and February. So it was so special to finish in that stadium, because that is where my life was, you know, it was one of the biggest and momentous occasions of my life.
And thank you so much for being here. Before we end this whole thing, there's just one last question. How do you want people to remember Sania Mirza?
I want them to remember me, of course, for the things that I've achieved. I mean, that goes without saying. I think that for being a sort of, you know, being the first person to believe that all this was possible in so many different, on so many different levels. I think that's the most obvious answer. But I think that I would like them to remember me for someone who stood up for the truth and who tried to be as honest as possible. Because I think the legacy cannot just be of me hitting tennis balls. The legacy has to be a lot larger than that. And the legacy needs to also be that someone who tried to make a difference. And I think that if I'm remembered for those few things, I feel like I've achieved what I've been here for. Are you going to cry?
Yes, Sania.
Yeah, I think that you're going to cry.
Really, I've just been like staring at you. It feels like I'm hypnotized. By the end of this conversation, whatever Sania Mirza is going to say, I'm like, yeah, absolutely right.
I wish everybody was like that.
Thank you so much for, you know, being here and talking to us with so much patience.
No, it's been a pleasure.
एक दो question के बाद मेरे को उठ के बोलोगे क्या जी?
No. It's been a pleasure, and it's always nice to be able to, I hope I've been as honest as I could be and be candid, because I feel like not many people see the real side of me very often. And it was nice to do it with you, obviously, and you are still playing cricket, so I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much. Thank you.